Kruse Control. It is Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023. Welcome to Kruse Control, the home of entertainment news. I am your host, as always, Brian Kruse. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Hump Day.
Woo!
Yep. It's Hump Day. And as always, back here is my lovely co-host, Miss Sabrina Vittori. Sabrina, welcome back to Kruse Control. How you doing?
I am wonderful. I had a little bit of a rough time getting here, hence our delay. I apologize to our viewers. I apologize to you. I apologize to Sean.
So it's an eventful hump day for you, you're saying?
Very eventful. Very eventful.
It's not an ordinary hump day.
I love a good eventful hump day. No one likes an uneventful hump day.
Everybody likes a very eventful hump day because, hey, why not? Hey, what's up, Todd? Yeah, but I'm happy you made it. It's okay. Happy Wednesday. Happy to have you here, as always. And of course, joining us back on a Wednesday, and it wouldn't be Wednesday without our aficionado of comic book knowledge, the man himself, Mr. Sean Sutherland. Sean, welcome back to Kruse Control. How you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic. Lovely to be here. Lovely to be here with you both and see everybody. If it's Wednesday, it's a hump day. I've got to be on Kruse Control. So happy to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you on the hump day. And we just got to bring some real raw eye-penis to this episode. That's all I'm going to say.
Fuck, I'm not going to get away from that.
I'm
not going to get away from it.
No, we're already marketing it. There's going to be shirts. There's going to be mugs. There's going to be highlights. It's the thing. You created a trademark of Kruse Control, and I think you should be proud of it.
It's as long as
those residuals, as long as those residuals come my way, I'm fine with it.
We're in contract. We're in contract.
Yeah. Good. Happy to hear it.
Well, if our people contact your people, and then we'll figure it all out.
There's going to be some high penis discussions.
Yeah. Oh, and that is something that we can't get away from. Other people like to talk about it, I think, on Monday and on Friday. So it came up multiple times.
It literally has not left. It has come up every episode since you were here last.
Since you've been gone, it's come up.
Well, so glad to hear I got a lasting impression on the show. That's great. All right. Yes, you did, finally.
Sean. You know what I call that, though, Sean?
What do you call that?
Some breaking news!
Hit it.
All right, the very first thing that I want to dive into is Sean's favorite movie of all time, The Flash.
Oh, my God.
So The Flash is out, everybody.
Nope.
Favorite movie of all time. I don't think it's anybody's favorite movie of all time, but you know what? The Flash is coming to Max. So if you haven't get a chance to see The Flash yet, which apparently mostly the whole world hasn't watched it, you can watch it streaming on your Max service starting Friday, the 25th. That's right, this Friday, 2 days away. When the clock strikes midnight, you can check out The Flash, but, be careful because they might just take it down really fast and no one's going to watch it probably. But maybe they will. Maybe they will.
Rude.
But overall, think about domestically how much it made. I mean, it didn't even come close. At $268.5 million, that's what they wanted to make. That's what they need to make. Didn't make it. So The Flash, abysmal, $55.1 million in its first 3 days. Guys, they're saying it's not the lowest Disney. I shouldn't say Disney. I should say DC project. But overall, Blue Beetle might actually overpass it as the lowest grossing one. Until then, right now it's The Flash. Because Blue Beetle also sucked it up really bad. But, The Flash need to make a lot of money. And overall, it's just not going to make money back mostly. So, I mean, already I think it was $5 million this budget was, plus marketing. Honestly, everybody, we wanted to do well. We were excited about it. We wanted it to be a great movie, and it just wasn't. But, just didn't do well. People just didn't go see it, Sean, right? I mean, you had your whole... You got up on your list.
I did not see Blue Beetle yet. I'm planning on it. I've read a lot of reviews that say it's a solid movie. Okay. No, we'll see if I get there. I might just wait until Max, honestly. With everything else coming out, it just kind of seems like, I was listening to a few other YouTubers I enjoy, like Ryan Airy over at Screen Crush, and who had said that the Blue Beetle movie just felt like probably didn't need to come out right now. Could have waited a couple years and maybe tied into more of what James Gunn is doing. But we're here to talk about Flash. And yes, Flash was a gigantic disappointment. I'm sure it'll do well with streaming audiences just because of the Michael Keaton of it all. That was one of the bright lights of the entire movie. But
it was.
Yeah, I don't think I wanted to go back to a theater to see that one. I might have it in the background, when it comes to Max, I guess. I don't know.
I think you're gonna put it on. I mean, I'll probably put it on again too, just to check it out one more time. But I really wish that Nicolas Cage would have been the Superman through the whole thing. You could have had that, 90s Batman versus Superman we wanted to have a long time ago with Keaton and Superman. He could put a fight in there, could have had them at a good duel, and then also springboard into the whole Flashpoint stuff.
Same side.
It would have been cool. It would have been cool. I'm just saying, Sabrina. I know
That's not what this movie was.
Sabrina, you gonna watch this again or what? What do you think?
I actually probably will. I don't. That's an unpopular opinion, but I probably will. Michael Keaton was so badass. I really enjoyed Ben Affleck. I enjoyed Gal Gadot popping in. I'm not really sure what the point of drunk Jason Momoa was at the end, but I was there.
There was no point.
Too.
It was to remind you that Aquaman 2 was coming out. That was the only point. Yeah.
Exactly. But it was kind of funny, I guess. I don't know. I was I waited for the credits to go through for this. But yeah, what did you know what it's called, Sean? What is the thing where they were in the time suck? It's cornucopia of time moving things.
Yeah.
What'd you call it?
I think a zoetrope. What was it?
Nope, zoetrope. Zoetrope is what?
Chronodome or the
Chrono.
Oh yeah, Chrono Ball is what they were
Chrono
in.
Ball.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah. Okay.
That.
All right. I got you.
But I after your take on that, I'm interested to see that again, through your eyes. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Welcome.
But yeah, I probably will watch it again, for things that I didn't, pick up on or think about, and then after talking about it with you and Mike, and you're after hearing that, and respecting your opinion, I will watch it again for that purpose, not for I can't wait to see that movie again, but. I like to examine things that I have seen, if someone that I respect and trust their opinion on things, says something about, I want to see it through a set of new eyes. So I probably will watch it again. Yes.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, I'll probably put it on in the background again. Blue Beetle, I think I agree with you too about the Blue Beetle thing, Sean, is that
so bad.
That Blue Beetle, I mean, if they would have waited on it, people are so fatigued by, superhero projects as it all.
I don't care how fatigued you are. That movie was terrible.
I mean, it was all right.
No, it was not all right. It was terrible.
It could have been a lot better.
It was terrible.
I just think introducing
let me ask you
old
this.
school.
Did you guys see it with a predominantly Hispanic audience?
No, there was 4 people
there
in
was
the movie
4
theater.
people in the theater, yeah.
Oh, well, that's too bad. I heard that it plays very well with Hispanic audiences.
I don't think other people's accolades would have made me like it any better.
And actually, they're actually trying to blame Hurricane Hillary for it. They're saying that people didn't go out because of the hurricane.
We literally went to 3 movies that day.
Yeah, there was
3 movies. It's raining. We're fuck it. We saw Talk to the Hand. No.
Talk to Me.
Talk to Me.
Good movie.
So good.
Good movie.
So good.
Yep.
Turtles, which was also very good. Not as good as Talk to Me, but good. And then Blue Beetle, which I could barely contain watching. And maybe it was movie fatigue after 3 movies, but I literally when I don't want to do any spoilers, but there was one point where I was I have had enough. Just no.
Yeah. I'll just say introducing you'd be there's an old school Blue Beetle out there somewhere that maybe is dead, maybe he's not dead.
But I didn't have a problem with that. I had a problem with his entire family.
It's you have a Batman already there, but the Batman's not there. Now he's gonna be Batman, but the Batman couldn't access the scarab to make it work.
Was
that whole
super
thing was
annoying, and I wanted to she was the quirky fun character. She was the Aquafina in Shang-Chi type of character. But it did not land for me at all. And I wanted to like her. When she first showed up, I'm oh, she's gonna be hilarious. She had to talk about, oh, she's gonna be great. And then I was she just annoyed me. And then the way that they went about the family dynamic was just I was just I don't know what's happening right now. Why are you doing this? And the problem is it could have been really good. And it could have landed with all audiences, and it could have brought in because there's, I love the fact that they're branching out with everyone's not a fucking white fucking dude. I love that.
Yeah.
But it just did, the way that they did it was I don't know. I don't know if it was miscast or if it was miswritten or if it was just timing, you're saying. No, that's not a word, but you know what I mean. I don't know. It was just a giant miss, period, for me.
I just love how his whole family's killing bitches, and he's don't kill people. He doesn't want to kill anybody, but his family's killing people. It was kind of hilarious.
He could have killed the biggest villain in the movie, not even halfway through, and then he was I just want you to live, and then it was that's what turned out to be the biggest nemesis of the whole thing. And then like, his grandma is like with this like ray guns, and I'm like, oh my God, like why?
Well, I just think that people just didn't want to see it because they know that this is not really going to continue the DC stuff. Like James Gunn alluded to it that he might be in this.
I don't care who went to see it or
No,
not. It was not good.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
think
problem for me.
I think it they didn't do themselves any favors by saying, yeah, this is just going to be kind of its own thing, and it might tie into things, it might not, but like there's no it's like you've been primed for years and a decade now at least to things have to tie into each other when it comes to superhero movies. It leads into something or it mentions something, and there's all these Easter eggs, yada yada yada. And they're like, yeah, well, Blue Beetle is just going to be existing in this, and and like they didn't really, I don't think they did themselves any favors in how they talked about the movie. But yeah, I don't know. I'm waiting until Max, I think, on it. But The Flash, right?
It's worth a watch.
Look at that.
The Flash is worth a watch. If you haven't seen it, worth a watch. It's fun to see Michael Keaton be Batman again. And honestly, you might as well watch it on streaming. And I gotta say, if you haven't seen it, check it out. But something that I probably won't check out, even though, it probably will be on streaming very soon. I think it actually is The Peripheral from Amazon. Because now that this is canceled, like I already know if I watch the first season, which I kind of want to check it out. I know I'm be left in a cliffhanger because it's made by, of course, Jonathan Nolan, Jonah, and Lisa Joy, and they did Westworld, of course, which I love, and I've worked with them. But usually they tend to have these sci-fi continuation stories with their actual series.
Shits.
In this Peripheral, though, they plan to do more. They got greenlit for a second season. It was coming back on Amazon. But again, we talked about this on Monday. It's Wednesday today. It's hump day today. Mm-hmm. What happens, which you'll see more and more of, is projects will be canceled due to the strikes that have been happening. And this is one they're saying happened too, because how long is it going to take for them to produce this? It takes a long time. So by the time this could actually be done and out, it would be 2025. And they already had the first season come out on October 21st of 2022. So it's like, if you wait that long, like you lose audience. Of course, it did Westworld for a long time. They don't want to do that anymore. So unfortunately, this was renewed. The William Gibson novel series was renewed, but it's not going to happen. They're canceling it anyways. And, this is all part of Jonah and Lisa Joy's contract. They got paid $150 million to produce projects for Amazon. And they still have the Fallout series coming. That's still happening. That's apparently done. So we'll be getting that from them eventually. But The Peripheral is going away. So if you were a fan of this, unfortunately, you're not going to get a chance to watch any more of it. It sucks. It sucks for fans, But Sean, did you see this at all? What do you think? Do you think this is surprising they canceled this after everything that's been happening?
I'm not surprised. I think, honestly, it might be one of the first dominoes to fall. We've been getting little hints and notions that things were going to be starting to be affected by the strikes. And I'm not really surprised. It's disappointing. I'm a big William Gibson fan. I love his obviously, what his thoughts were on the aliens and all that kind of stuff. And it's disappointing. But I think it's unfortunately the scene of the whatever of things to come. I don't know the words right now, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good scene. Yeah, just look at
right.
Look at that. Something in your eye. All right.
You're right. It's like what's going to be happening more and more. It's unfortunate. It's like, even if you didn't get a chance to check this out, like, it just sucks. This is what's going to be happening. We talk about A League of Their Own was canceled. The same kind of deal at Amazon. So Amazon's like the first company that's actually doing this already. So you're going to see more of this. And, you got great creators behind it. They made great content in the past. You got a great cast here. Chloe's amazing, who plays the lead. But unfortunately, it's at the wayside. Sabrina, what do you think? Are you surprised by this? Or you're just like, this is just more and more is going to be happening as the strike lingers on?
I feel like it's unfortunately a common byproduct of the strike, so that's sad. And I do enjoy Jonah Nolan and Lisa Joy's work. I enjoyed, that's something happening there from Westworld on the left and I guess Peripheral on the right. So I guess they use like a I haven't watched Peripheral. I did want to, but like saying what you're saying, like Westworld did dip off for me a little bit, unfortunately. But I did enjoy the first season. I enjoyed a lot. And the second season was pretty good too. The third season is kind of where it started to fall for me. However, I think that they're very, very talented and they have a really good special effects team behind them. And like, so I feel like it's worth a watch cinematically, you know, whether you are going to get the continuation of the story or not. So I probably will, you know, eventually tune in when I'm, you know, which probably will be soon, when there's nothing else to watch because there's nothing
news coming. Yeah.
So I probably will watch it. And I didn't mean that in a bad way because I do, like I said, I do really enjoy their work. And I don't mean to diminish that. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It seems like a decent concept. And, you know, I do like the way that they cover things, you know, cinematically. So, you know, it sucks. And I like you said, I do feel like it's going to be a trend. Unfortunately, because like by the time things get going again and they start to develop and do, like, who wants 3 or 4 years in between a season? Nobody. Like, that's ridiculous. You know, especially something with such a high production value that takes that much time, right? But imagine Westworld in the middle of a strike. That would have been like a 6-year wait. You know, and everyone would be like, "What the fuck?" You know. Yeah. So it's all relative, honestly.
No, I agree.
Hi, Bubs.
But yeah, that's just what's going to be happening more and more. You're right, Spring. There might be more people that might find this show and watch it on Amazon because they've run out of content too. Yeah. And maybe it'll warrant the season to come back eventually too. Maybe the stuff like that will happen too. But overall, you're going to see a lot more production companies that are going to be like, cancel this, cancel that, because they want to wait. They're worried about losing viewer audience.
It's a lot of lag time. And you're going to put money into a show that like may or may not produce at that point, you know?
Yeah, because you may have lost your audience. You may have lost your audience. And that's you got to be very careful with that. So Peripheral might not have a chance if they let it actually go to production to come back. Yeah. You might just might be a massive dud, and it costs a lot of money to make this. So they're like, see you later, Peripheral. Good luck. And maybe another house will pick it up. Maybe somebody else will pick it up. But since Jonah and Lisa Joy have a contract with Amazon, again, for $150 million, they might not be able to shop it any place else. It might just be done.
Oh, I didn't even know
over with. Yeah, like a big contract they got after Westworld.
So they left HBO to go to Prime?
Go to Prime.
Oh, Jeff
Prime. Yep. So, I mean, that's what happens. Goes to the wayside. But there's also projects that we might hope would come back, but might not come back. That leads me talking about Thor a little bit, because everyone online has been talking about Thor 5. I've seen it like multiple times through the past week. People are like, well, it's coming back for sure. They're developing it. And then all of a sudden, Variety puts an article out and it says, no, it's not actually going to happen. There's no plans for a Thor 5. Then you get this Taika Waititi conversation that came up talking about Thor 5 while he was talking about Thor Love and Thunder. So this is actually based off, it's an article. He was talking about Love and Thunder, and it's called it's like a behind the scenes type deal that's going to be coming out on September 19th. But he was talking about Thor 5, and he said that, no, it's not in development yet. And even Chris Hemsworth said that he has nothing signed on for Marvel for this yet. But he says he has multiple ideas if he does get a chance to come back for Thor 5. So it makes me think that, there might be something in the works, but people are trying to shut down left and right. But he said if it does happen, he would love to come back, of course. But he was saying we have to up the stakes now. We have to have a bigger villain than Helena, who was, Thor's sister. Thor's sister from Ragnarok.
Played by the great Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett.
She was fucking great. She was like one of the best villains he's had.
Ever.
And then they did, they did Love and Thunder, and I feel like Christian Bale's a fucking great actor, but I think he kind of wasn't as threatening as his sister was in the one before. And then the stakes weren't as high, if you ask me. And, of course, you're just bringing back Natalie Portman. You're changing the dynamic a little bit. But Taika was saying that he wants a bigger villain coming in. And he also wants to take Thor and have him venture off of different planets, interacting with aliens, because he said it's a different kind of dynamic compared to a human meeting aliens, because you already have a god meeting an alien now, which makes it more interesting. And so we want to delve into that. And of course, there's also Hercules lurking in the shadows. And I think that, they want to bring Brett back because Roy Kent is a fucking good Hercules. But, he's just saying.
He's there every fucking where. Roy Kent.
Kent.
I had to.
But he's just saying, he'd love to do that, up the stakes. And Chris Hemsworth said that it has to do the same thing, too, in order for him to come back. He doesn't want people to be bored. And we've had conversations about this, but now that Taika's actually, talking about it more. Taika even said in an interview that he didn't even know at the end of the credits of Love and Thunder would say Thor will return. And that's another whole thing that's But I hear Variety saying it's not happening. Taika saying, well, if it did happen, I think that it is something they're probably going to venture into. I think it will happen. But again, they have so much stuff on their slates right now. I can't imagine if you're going to see this before all the other stuff moving forward. There's just too much stuff they got on their plate. And then you have Bob Iger saying he's going to be actually cutting budgets and cutting productions. So I don't think this summer we're getting like right away, but we might get it down the line. That's kind of how I feel about it. Sabrina, what do you think? Do you think that Variety's right? This is never going to happen? Or do you think that Taika will eventually make a
There's totally a
Thor
possibility.
5?
There's 100% of a possibility. Like when you have the willingness of an amazing director and comedic act, like Korg is my favorite actor in any Thor ever. Like he is hilarious and amazing and so weird and so funny. And he carried what he thought was his dead friend around in Ragnarok, and then he wound up being alive at the end. Like
Pretty awesome.
he was so, and he called him like New Doug. Like it was like Thor was New Doug because like everyone who came in just died. So it was like Doug was the last person who died. So he was New Doug, which I love. I actually do that all the time, which is, not saying much about me, but I'm like, or I call people not something. I'm like, not Nancy, which was from Weeds, if anyone watched Weeds. Like it was like, it was not Francie and Weeds actually, but like I'm like, discount, my sister-in-law says, discount this actor. But I call him like not this actor. Like there's always like this like parallel universe where you're like, oh, this person reminds me of this person, but not quite as good or not quite exactly. So like there's, like whatever kind of prefix you want to throw on that. So I thought that was hilarious when I saw it, like mostly because I related to it immensely, but also because he played it so fucking well. He's just so funny. He is so funny on screen. And like the fact that he like writes and directs and like does all these, like Jojo Rabbit was fucking amazing. He has a new soccer show actually coming out with Fassbender starring in it, which I can't wait to see. I think it's gonna be amazing. It's like debuting at the Toronto Film Festival shortly.
Yeah, Taika.
And like I insanely respect his body of work and his sense of humor, and the way that he can make something that is dramatic also very funny. So I would love to see a Thor. Thor: Love and Thunder did not land for me. I'm sorry, like it just didn't. But Ragnarok is my favorite Marvel movie for sure. So I would just love, like, I'd love to give him a chance to see a Thor 5, and I'd love to see what he could do. I don't know how you could top Cate Blanchett. She was fucking so badass,
so fucking great,
and so amazing. So I don't see how that could happen. But I'd love to give him another chance.
Well, I think because everybody loved that character too. That he's like, well, we got to do someone that, like better than her.
But yeah,
because
good luck getting better than her.
Because Christian Bale just didn't land the same way.
Bale, but it wasn't him. It wasn't.
I don't think it was Christian Bale's fault. Yeah,
it wasn't.
No, it wasn't his fault.
It wasn't 100% wasn't his fault. It was the fact that there was the love interest with Natalie Portman and the being sick, and they spent. It was too convoluted. There were too many things going on, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Completely agree.
You're worried about this thing and that thing, and then there's like the villain thing. Like the villain thing took second seat to like their like sort of rekindled relationship where now she's sort of he's the so there's the oh my god my love, and then there's the oh my god you're better than me, and oh my god you are me, and what the fuck is happening. Like it was too convoluted. Like there was just not
and then
enough
he has a daughter at the end now
as to what it should have been.
I'm not sure about that.
And so I think that was the problem there.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, it felt like it was too much in one movie. It felt like they didn't really kind of like to me, it almost felt like if you were going to end Thor, it would have been a nice way to like be like, okay, go. He's got a daughter now, and he and the daughter are going to go explore the multiverse or go and if they want to go visit alien worlds, by all means, enjoy yourselves. And we're never going to. I don't think we're ever going to see Hercules again. I'm sorry.
Come on.
There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. No, it's not going to happen. It was great. It was a nice little tease, but I just don't see how Hercules gets into the Marvel universe at this point.
It could be like a buddy comedy though. Him and Hercules have to team up to take someone else down.
Oh, I would love that.
Well, shit, I'd watch that. I'd watch the hell out of that.
I would watch that shit too.
Fuck.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, you kind of got me there, I guess. But that'd be interesting to see. But yeah, what do you do with the Thor 5? I mean, he's talking about how great Hela was and Cate Blanchett, but totally undercuts what Christian Bale did with Gore. And
but it wasn't Christian Bale's fault.
I know. No, I'm with you there.
It wasn't his fault.
But like if Thor's gonna return, obviously maybe the next Avengers movie, maybe he dies. I don't know what happens, but if we get a Thor 5, cool. Like I'm all for it, but I just don't see where
I
the character's gonna go after the last movie.
I wouldn't want it with anyone else except for Taika at the helm. And if you can somehow work Brett Goldstein in there, I'm super in. You know what I mean? I'm super in.
I just
We
don't know how you
understand.
recreate that Ragnarok magic, like they tried with
can't.
Love
It's
and
not
Thunder.
Ryan Reynolds,
It's
okay?
hard.
I'm just being very clear about another actor that I'm very fond of, but it's not Ryan Reynolds. I feel like it would be I was so excited at that post credit scene. And like he did some whole thing like where he was like talking to his mom and the mom's calling him on the phone in the movie theater or texting him. He's like, watch the fucking screen, mom. And then she's like, oh my God, you're there.
You're Thor. You're Hercules. Yeah. That was really fun to see. Like,
I would
talking about his
just
mom.
love for that to happen again. But like also, I do love the character of Thor. And I do love Taika's writing, and I do love Korg, and like I feel like, and I also love Valkyrie. Like I think that's like my favorite role that she has ever played. What is the actress's name? Fuck, Tessa Thompson.
Yeah.
Tessa Thompson, yep.
She's a spectacular actress, but I think that is my favorite performance for her. And she's played so many roles and has been so good in so many things. I love her as Valkyrie. She's
great.
And then they have a fucking chemistry. And I don't know. I would love to explore that more if we could in a way that isn't so like convoluted and like overworked, which is what I felt like Love and Thunder was.
Yeah. Sabrina, people love Thor though too, so I feel like they probably will do this again, but I think it's down the line, and Tessa Thompson's great. The whole cast is great. But when people are so fond of a character, they just want to keep that IP-ness going. It just goes a long way. But somebody else that people love, but he's still getting a shaft, well, is Mario. Mario's getting the shaft. Well, I should say Charles Martinet is getting the shaft, I should say. I put this out there being like, is he being forced out? No, maybe he's not at all. Maybe he's just naturally retiring, but Charles is apparently retiring as being the voice of Mario. They made a whole statement coming forward from Nintendo being like, okay, now he's a retire. He's become a Mario ambassador now. Now, he first started being Mario's voice in 1994 for the game Mario Teaches Typing. And then he moved on to Mario 64, and that like blew him up. I mean, of course, he's always saying, Yahoo, let's go, all that kind of stuff. But still, like, that's the Mario voice we know and we love. And there was a lot of backlash during the Super Mario Brothers movie when Chris Pratt got hired. And people are like, why is Charles not playing the part? Like, he is Mario. And they gave him the part to playing the plumber in the actual like pizzeria. And they let him play the father in it too. But now they came forward after the movie is out. Now it made $1 billion. He's retiring, become this ambassador.
Oh, by the way, Barbie surpassed Mario. Just a fun fact for you, Brian.
Well, we're gonna talk about
Way
that
to
later.
go, Barbie!
Yeah, but yeah, Barbie did. Yeah, it did. It was figured it was gonna do today, but we'll talk about that later. We're talking about Mario right now, though. But
Mario got surpassed by Barbie, so it's technically about Mario.
It did. Well, Nintendo put this statement out being like, Charles Martinet has been the original voice of Mario Nintendo games for a long time, as far back as Super Mario 64. Charles is now moving into the brand new role of Mario Ambassador. With this transition, he will be stepping back from recording character voices for our games, but he'll continue to travel the world, sharing the joy of Mario, interacting with you all. Now, this whole thing, though, it's like, to me, does this come down to Chris Pratt being the voice of Mario now? Do you think that Nintendo is going to start pushing like his voice instead of Charles? Or do they have enough AI technology that's be looping Mario's voice forever and they don't have to pay him anymore? These are the things that I think about when I hear this, because I'm like, this guy, like, do you think he really needs to retire as Mario right now? I mean, his voiceover stuff. Let's go to Sean. Sean, what do you think? Am I just being a little bit crazy, or do you think that maybe there's a little bit of something else happening behind the scenes here with the voice of Mario?
I don't think you're crazy. I just think it's really representative of where we are and what's going on. Studios are fucking over people left and right, and people are trying to do more with technology and not pay actors what they're owed and not give writers their due and all that kind of shit. So of course, a little cynicism is going to come out. To me, I think this was actually a pretty nice little send off for him. The gentleman that voices him is getting up there. He's older. He means a lot to the generations of people that grew up with a Mario character. unfortunately, there are also Nintendo thinking ahead and saying, hey, there's also a new generation of Mario players that are getting exposed to him, and it's a different voice, and that's okay. Like I think I don't know. We don't have a new Mario game on the horizon that I can think of where this would be coming through, but let the dude retire as a Mario ambassador. Put that on your resume. Who the hell wouldn't want that? But no, I know he's a great guy. I know that he has been really, great in terms of supporting Mario and Nintendo and all that. And honestly, like I applaud Nintendo for even putting out a statement about this kind of thing. Like oftentimes when you think about other franchises, granted there aren't really voices, for characters. I mean, Sonic maybe, but that guy didn't really get as much of a,
Jaleel White, wasn't Jaleel White?
He did it for a long time, but it wasn't for the video games. It was for the
No, it wasn't for the
cartoon.
video game. Yeah, the cartoon. That's what I'm thinking. The cartoon for Sonic, right? Like, yeah, like character actor or voiceover actors and characters are replaced all the time. Sometimes it's a big deal, other times it's not. I think of the Max Payne franchise; they did it, and a lot of other ones. Video game franchises, iPenis, whatever. But no, I thought this was nice of Nintendo to do.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to look. I don't think we need, even though we're so primed to be negative and think about the nefarious reasons behind things. Nintendo's been pretty much on the up and up, at least in my book. So
it's something they've taken care of him. Miyamoto and him are supposed to have like an actual like public video thing coming forward. They said too, where they'll actually have a joint statement about what that means to be a Mario ambassador moving forward. But I still feel like I think Chris Pratt's going to be the next Mario voice now. I have a feeling they're going to start using him in the video games. That's just where my mind goes now. Like Sean was saying, there is a whole new generation that knows Mario's voice as Chris Pratt now. So why would Chris Pratt as a business not become that Mario voice? Sabrina, what do you think? Am I crazy? Or do you think, like Sean thinks, that this is just a nice transition for, Mario's next, adventure?
Okay, so first of all, when we first spoke about this, I was like, does Mario even really talk in the games? It's it's like little tiny like snippets, and like the shitty thing is that they're going to continue to use those snippets and not give him money. Like that would be problematic. However, like I don't see them replacing him with Chris Pratt. Like it doesn't make sense to me. I feel like Chris Pratt would be way more fucking expensive, by the way. So you're not gonna save any money on that type of thing. And also, Chris Pratt was Chris Pratt. Like the movie was fine, and I love Mario. Chris Pratt. He was Chris Don't Pratt. Get me wrong.
Yeah.
But he was fucking Chris Pratt.
Yep.
The movie was nice. He did a fine job, but it wasn't fucking Mario. So I don't know. I actually prefer Sean's take on it, and I hope that that's what it is. I understand reading into it just like he said, and if that's the case, that's shitty.
Yeah.
But I feel like this man is literally the essence of Mario and will be forever.
Since Mario teaches typing, that's a long time ago.
For my generation, for your generation, I mean, this is what it is. So if you're gonna replace that with Chris Pratt / Star-Lord / guy from The Office / fucking Jurassic Park. Like, it's just Chris Pratt.
/ Micronauts.
And again, I love Chris Pratt. I really do enjoy him. I think he's a fantastic actor. I enjoy watching him. I think he's fun. I think he's quirky. I think he's cute. Like, I have no problems with him. But he's not fucking Mario. So I hope that this is what Sean said. I really hope that you surmise that perfectly, because if you did, then I think that it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
maybe we'll get like an Affleck situation out of this. They'll open it up and it'll have a lot of other people coming in and trying to be the next Mario. I don't know. That'd be cool.
Do you know what happened with Affleck?
Isn't it? Well, wasn't it Gilbert Godfrey made a 9/11 joke and then
No, he made a tsunami joke. And then they fired him.
Oh, it wasn't 9/11? Oh.
No.
Yeah.
9/11, that was so much earlier.
Yeah, but like that's still a thing.
No,
people still care about 9/11.
Stand-up routine, and then he made a joke about the tsunami, and then they fucking fired him and like canceled him. Well. And then like it became like an Affleck open mic, I guess. I don't know.
Way to go, Gilbert, I guess.
I don't know.
Gilbert.
Rest in peace, by the way.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, buddy.
Yeah. I do like the idea what Sean was saying though
comedian.
too, Sabrina. Like that maybe this is just a nice send off, and he'll still travel the world.
I hope that's the case.
And maybe they will use his voice constantly, but he'll be in a different kind of contract.
That'd be
He's
great.
actually paying him what's right, which
As
would
long
be
as he gets residuals.
amazing. Which is what should happen. It really should have happened at the end of the day. Everybody needs residuals at the end of the day. Take care of your people. But you know, I just look at him and he's synonymous as Mario for me. And somebody else, even though it wasn't the best movie, I still see Sean Connery as the lead in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, because like I don't know who else will play that part, but apparently
Let it now.
Apparently Brad Pitt is up for the lead in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen reboot. That's right, you heard me right. A reboot to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen came out in 2003. Now, everyone knows it was Sean Connery. Maybe you don't know, but it was Sean Connery's last movie. It did so bad. He was actually up for Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. He turned it down to do this movie instead, which was a huge fucking whoops, on his part. I would love Sean Connery as Gandalf, but whatever. He did this. He retired afterwards. This movie, they made it for $78 million. It made $179.3 million. That's not even incorporating budgets for it, or for a marketing budget for it. So it probably ended up breaking even or losing a little bit. It wasn't the success they were expecting it to be. And Brad Pitt apparently is signed on to take over in the lead part of Alan Quatermain. Now, if this happens, it could be kind of cool, but they might adjust the time frame because this takes place. They've changed it before, the 19th, 20th, 21st century, and then the 30th century. They're saying maybe it could go to, but they had a bunch of comic books based off this, of course, graphic novels, a spin-off original graphic novels, and a whole trilogy came out with the graphic novels as well. So they've had a lot of this substance they've had for source material, and they thought it would be a huge hit when it came out, and it just didn't do well. And Sean Connery probably signed on for multiple movies because they probably figured it was going to go huge, huge, huge. But it didn't happen. And if you're wondering what it's about, well, it's about a group of people with superhuman abilities. But of course, Sean Connery's part, which could be Brad Pitt's part as Quatermain, was the only person that wasn't. He was kind of the team captain holding it together. And it kind of blended into the monster universe too. But I was excited about it when I went to go see it. I haven't gone back to watch it since the movie came out. So maybe I'd enjoy it more as an adult. I don't know. But Sean's not thinking so. But
no, sorry, no, it did not. No, it did not age well. Big surprise.
No, did not.
Does it not garner a reboot?
Does not garner a reboot. Then
honestly, like it got swept up in the whole it was just another franchise that could exist, right? Like it was a very hot comic book in terms of what it was, like taking all these literary characters and all these mythical character archetypes and putting them into one book as a superhero team was just a really interesting idea. And they just basically threw out all the interesting stuff and said, let's just make them shoot shit in a car, and we'll have it's just a monster movie at the end of the day. It's a really it's just a weird fucking movie that came out at a really weird time, because I don't even think the book was really finished at the time the movie came out. This is speaking a lot because of the creator of it, that Alan Moore is very against the Hollywood superhero, kind of thing, and taking comic books and perverting them in this way, which is exactly what happened with League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So, I'm cautiously optimistic. I hope to see them do right by the source material. It's definitely a more of an intelligent kind of piece than what we got, which was just a weird friggin' action movie. And I don't know. If Brad Pitt's gonna do something, I mean, he must see the potential there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think Brad Pitt can make this a successful franchise? It's his first superhero thing.
I mean, that'd be great. He was the Vanisher in Deadpool 2.
He was Vanisher.
But also Brad Pitt's doing some weird shit nowadays. He did an episode of Dave on FX. If anyone watches Dave.
Really?
Oh yeah, he showed up. He played himself. He showed up and he got held hostage with Dave. It was a great episode. But yeah, I don't know what the hell Brad Pitt's doing or what he's smoking now.
He's having fun.
He's having fun. He's enjoying it, and that's fine.
His stand-in / double did an episode of Bupkis, which was fucking amazing. Rob, shout out to Rob, amazing dude.
Get it, Rob.
It was hilarious. I didn't watch the show, but I did watch that scene because he's very good friends with my boss, and I met him. I spent Christmas Eve with him last year at my boss's house because they're friends. And Goldie was like, "Do you want to come see fucking Rob do the thing?" And I died. It was so good. It was so good. But it was like Pete Davidson thought he was doing a scene with Brad Pitt, and then fucking Rob shows up. But Rob is like strikingly similar to Brad Pitt. Like he's like every time you see like an over the shoulder shot, he's like, this is like Brad Pitt. And then he's like, whatever his character name was in Bubba, because I can't remember it. But he like turned this way and he'd be like, whatever, fucking Rob Thomas. And then he goes and he's like, Brad Pitt, Rob Thomas. Like it was hilarious. It was so fucking funny. So I feel like he also does like a lot of producing. Like, so he is like spread, very thin. He does like a lot of fucking things. I also feel like he's like a really fucking funny, cool dude. And he's like open to shit, which is like something that like people on his level of stardom are not usually a part of.
Yeah.
So I'm super,
I feel that.
I'm super here for anything that he does. Like he did a weird, like small cameo part in that Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
He was the best part of that fucking movie. What was it called? The Land of the
Blind
Lost.
Side.
No, fuck you, dude.
Blind Side.
Blind Side. Sorry.
So rude. No, it was the Land. Was it the Land of the Lost? No, that's the Will Ferrell movie. I love that movie.
Recently too, and I can't remember the name of it.
Whatever it is, like she's wearing like a chartreuse, like fucking pink situation like the whole time. It's her and Channing Tatum. Anyway, he did a light cameo and he was in like maybe 3 scenes, maybe 2 scenes, but he was the best part of the movie. And I love that about him. And he was my first on-screen love. Like when I was little, he was the first star I ever met. He did a movie in Greenport, and my Poppy, great picture. My Poppy
there he
was,
is, the Vanisher. There you go.
My Poppy was an accountant, and he did the taxes for these sound guys. I won't mention their names because I don't want to get anyone in trouble for anything. But basically, they let me and my brother like go on set and like hang out ish, And so like I went to the set and the PA, who I'm still friends with to this day, was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm friends with this person, like blah blah blah." And then he like went and verified and came back and he was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And so like we hung out on set and like it was just like this super cool experience. It was the first rap party I ever went to because I went with the PA who was very douchey to me in the beginning. And it was the first time I ever drank alcohol was that night. I was like 17 or 16 or something. And I met Brad Pitt and he was amazing.
We do not condone
Hold on.
underage drinking.
What?
Yep.
Oh, okay, I'm
Kruse
sorry.
Control is not about that life. Yeah.
I didn't realize that we were a PSA announcement. I was explaining my personal experience.
Encourage underage drinking. We don't.
I'm not encouraging anything. I'm just saying this is what I personally did.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like the most amazing. It was probably part of the reason why I wound up in LA. Like it was just like this like magical world like that I thought was like super awesome. And Harrison Ford was there, and like it was like I still have his autograph on a napkin, and it's like because he did the movie Sabrina, and my name is Sabrina, and he was like, "Oh, you are much more beautiful than any Sabrina that I've ever known, fictional or otherwise." And I was like, "Oh, what?"
Changed your life right there.
He was like, but also he was like old enough to be my grandfather at the point because I was like literally 16. But it was just so, it was like, for me, it was like a parallel universe, like literally a parallel. I'm like Brad Pitt, Harrison Ford, all these fucking, it was like the craziest thing that I ever experienced. Which, again, that's probably why I'm out here. So I don't know. I feel like he is just a fucking super cool dude.
So you think he'd be a great Quartermain in the
I
League
don't
of
care about
Extraordinary
that
Gentlemen.
stupid movie. That movie sucks, and I don't care. But I'm here for him and what he does. That's my point. My point is I'm here for what he does, and if he chooses to do that, I support him in that, and I will go see it. Although this thing on the left there just looks like shit, and it was shit, and I don't want to see it again.
You don't want to see it again? Well,
I hope you do it better.
Here's the lineup, Sabrina. What do you think about this lineup? They got here with this lineup right here.
No, hard no, dude. Hard no. They're going to be a new lineup. This is also
Yeah,
No.
because it's very you know, they just came out. It's in development,
Right,
of course.
So who knows? But
happening.
the comics are like so different. Like they could focus. Like also the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen that they made the movie of. A lot of it was extremely untrue to the comics. Maybe this is going to be more true to the comics. Maybe this is going to be a whole different thing. Maybe it's not going to technically be a reboot. It's going to be like, you know, justice to what the comics are. Like I don't know. And I'm not going to judge it. Like, we're in the middle of a strike. This shit's not going to happen for a while anyway. Yeah. I'm just saying I'm here for Brad Pitt. And fuck you for not liking my story.
But speaking of the strike, Sabrina, I want to go into what's been going on right now recently about the WGA strike, because as we've talked about before, they've had meetings with the AMPTP. Of course, SAG-AFTRA hasn't recently, but the WGA has, and they've gone back and forth for almost a week, and everyone's thinking, oh, things are moving great. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Well, now the writers are saying they've been kind of gaslit by the AMPTP. They said, here's how it went down. They had an invitation to meet with them with Bob Iger, Donna Langley, Ted Sedaros, David Zaslav, and Carol Lambertini. And apparently when they sat down, they thought, oh, it's going to be great. All the producers, we talked about this last Friday, all the producers, the big producers are the studio heads. They want to talk to us. They had a meeting about this. It's going to be great. And they said they actually sat down and it felt like they were being lectured about how good of a counter offer they were given the WGA, and they should just sign it and take it because it's such a great thing. And they were like, that's not what we thought we were going into. We thought we were going into a negotiation thing, and it really wasn't that. They said that they thought the meeting was actually to cave them in and to trick them pretty much so that the AMPTP could put something out there in the publicity to be like, hey, look, we've offered them great things. And they did. After the meeting, apparently the last meeting, they actually put out everything they've been, you know, counter offering them with, like, we had all these great monumental things. They should be just signing this. It's their fault, not our fault. This isn't going down. But they didn't actually address all the stuff that they were actually asking for. And they're like, hey, there's big issues right here. We're not just going to cave. They said after 20 minutes of being told, like, just sign the contract pretty much, they just walked out. Like, we can't do this. We can't do this. We're not going to do this. And I mean, that's horrible. They said this was the company's plan from the beginning, not to bargain, but to jam us. It's their only strategy, to bet that we will turn on each other. And they're saying we're not going to turn on each other. They went back out there. They put this whole thing out to their actual membership. They said, hey, this is not going like you think it's going to go. They're trying to snowball us, and that's not what we want. So, yeah, I said snowball. And on top of that, there was a big solidarity thing that happened just yesterday. It was huge. I was actually there. It was great at Disney, outside Bob Iger's House of the Mouse. All the freaking SAG members and the Writers Guild came together to have a huge meeting and a huge strike together, picketing all together as one cohesive unit. Martin Sheen was there. I mean, it was massive. You had Ron Perlman was there. You had Kerry Washington there. It was a big thing. It was amazing. It took down, they locked a whole street down, thousands of people. It was awesome. It was great to see that solidarity. And for me, right there, after that whole day having WGA, was a way of being like, hey guys, all these producers, all these studio heads, like, we are here to fight for this cause, and we're not just going to back off because you're telling us that we have to. And, you know, they're in for the long run. And there's like, I want to do a quick little thing here. I got a nice little compilation of the speeches that went down during the Solidarity meeting on yesterday. So let's check it out all together.
Clearly, this union has found something worth fighting for, and it is very costly. If this were not so, we would be left to question its value.
Do the jacket thing.
And so now we are called to support the union, support the leadership, and to stand together for the long haul, and to stick to it like a stamp.
The fucked up thing is,
Attaboy, Hellboy.
however much they take,
I know, right?
Will never be enough,
he says.
So what they need to do
right now, bro.
is make us feel small.
Play all day.
He'll always be Hellboy to me.
Devalue us.
Play all day.
He was apparently the Beast in the Beauty and the Beast series too.
With the thought that if we don't walk in line,
Says someone who never watched Sons of Anarchy.
True.
Because any motherfucker could do what we do.
Hell no! We've come to a point in our history where just being a working actor, coming to work every day, devoting oneself to this craft, dedicating oneself for the entertainment and the joy of others means I can't make a fair living. It's not okay. It's not okay for other people to benefit for our hard work and sweat. It's not okay for other people to benefit while we work 16-hour days. It's not okay for other people to benefit, when we put our vulnerability and our hearts on the line. It's not okay for other people to benefit while we do the hard work.
I'm reading a transcript,
okay.
so don't worry about it.
We deserve to be paid a fair wage. We deserve to be able to have access to health care. We deserve to be able to live a just life. We deserve to be able to be protected from machines pretending to be us. We deserve to be working artists and devote ourselves for the betterment of others and be
She
paid
killed it.
fairly.
All we want to do is tell stories about human beings. How the fuck can we tell stories about humanity, which is what we all do, which is what we love to do, which is what many of us do for free, if they want to dehumanize us?
We are called to help lift this nation up to that place where the heart is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depths of truth and tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sands of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action into that heaven of freedom. Dear Father, let our country awake.
I feel like he thought he was on stage for sure. He was feeling the
I'm doing a
stage.
soliloquy over here.
Yeah, he got into it. He's like, I got some passages to read you and stuff. But it's great. It was a massive event, and it really meant a lot to a lot of people. And it really was a good thing for, showing Disney, especially after that whole meeting with the WGA being like, hey, like, that's not right. We're not going where we're standing up. Kerry Washington was fucking great too.
Yeah, she's always great.
It's just one of those things where we thought that this might be done sooner than I think it will be, actually. People are talking about towards the end of the year. When you see the solidarity, it's amazing. And when you hear what the producers are saying behind the scenes, it's kind of disgusting in a lot of ways. It's just like,
the fact that they held a fucking meeting to be like, you should have taken our last deal because that's really, really good. Like, to scold them about the fact that they didn't like what they said is it says all you need to say. They're not ready to bargain. They're not ready to negotiate. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, it literally doesn't matter. They're like, this is what we gave you on August 11th. Now it's August 22nd because this was yesterday. And they're like, are you still not wanting to take this? Fuck you, dude. That's not a negotiation. That's strong arming, and you can go fuck yourself. And they're not going to fall for it. They're not going to take it. They didn't hold out for this many days. They didn't fucking fuck off for this much time. They didn't show solidarity, show up every day, pick it, and fucking do this shit to fucking go back on something that you gave them fucking 10 days ago or fucking 10 months ago or whatever. They're not going to fucking settle like this. It's not going to happen. So you either need to get your shit together and figure out how you want to move forward or play this tactic until it bankrupts everyone. Because we're not going to give in.
Yeah. And it was not going to give in at all. And it was just a beautiful thing to see everybody together, especially after hearing about this inside perspective. And thank you, Ty Batista out there for some lovely photos of the actual event. Ty was there taking photos on the ground. Our correspondent, photographer Ty Batista, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Ty. Some great photos. But yeah, it was a beautiful event, and I understand like that we need to be together. And it was great to see all these like figureheads that we know from the years of acting out there actually supporting us and standing by us too, because they get what's happening, and we're not just gonna fucking back down.
And it's not for them. Like, that's the thing. No. Like, people think it's like rich people whining, and I want to stress again, it's not for them. They're out there for us. No. They're out there for the people who are working background, who are standing in, who are day players. They're not there for them, but their voice is much bigger than any of our voices can be. And so they're there spending their time where they can be on a fucking island in Belize drinking pina coladas because they have no fucking problems with their fucking finances. They are out there on a picket line making speeches for the little people. Yep. And I applaud and commend that. And I say thank you. And I hope you keep doing it. And I hope that that everyone understands, especially people who don't live in LA or live in New York or live in a big city where these things happen, like that it's not rich people complaining for more money. It's people who are in a craft where they get paid very well, but 90% of the people, more than 90% of the people in that same craft can barely afford to get by, cannot make their medical insurance, cannot like live, you know, with you know, a decent, you can't have a family. You can, you know what I mean? Like, even if you're single and living in an apartment by yourself, you're struggling to get by. And that's not fair. You know, and like the things that you do, you should be compensated for. And like for an AI situation to come over is going to erase all of those people. They want to scan background actors. They want to scan them and use them in perpetuity on any project ever that any of the producers work on that happen to scan them. That is not okay. Like, you can't, like, people make a living, people earn their medical insurance on this, and very scarcely so. So it's not like, I appreciate every big name, every person who like has some sort of a presence to come out there and to speak their truth and to speak our truth and to try to make an effort towards this. I really, really do applaud. And Kerry Washington, I've worked with before. She is one of the most lovely human beings I've ever met. She's one of those generous actresses that I've ever worked with. I know crew members that worked with her for 7 seasons or 8 seasons or however long Scandal went. And the last season, there was like, I don't know, 20 days or something that they got a present every day. A mattress was one of the presents. Like and that she paid for herself personally, not amazing. Production. She gave presents to everyone on that crew every single day because she was so grateful for that experience of her life and how like it changed her life, and she was so grateful for all the people that put her there. So fucking hats off to you, Kerry Washington. Like, one of my fucking most treasured and fucking looked up to actresses and women of all fucking time. And thank you for looking out for us.
Yeah, it's fantastic what she said. And also that something came out too, Sabrina, on top of all that, is that they actually can't copyright this AI material that the producers want to use. They found that out recently because if you do a copyright, it has to be made by a human being. That's how it's worded in all legalities. So if they think they can just make like that, you know, that AI intro for, you know, Secret Invasion, well, you can't actually copyright that. So anybody can use that as much as they want. And so if they start integrating AI technology, and the producers are finding out right now that they can't actually copyright and hold it down. So it might help the cause.
If it's not copyrighted, who cares? Like, you're not paying residuals anyway, so who cares?
But it might help the cause because they don't like people using their shit. You know what I mean? They don't like that.
But if it's not generating any income, it doesn't fucking matter.
It's for down the line, though, I think.
I'm calling it now. Next week's episode, Kruse Control, the intro has to be Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
That's what we're doing.
Use it.
Oh,
just see what happens.
Do it.
See what the fuck happens. I don't know. Maybe get a cease and desist. You know. Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I'm like, who's trying to stop me? Your AI? Who's trying to stop me?
Let's do it. You think you're gonna be like, we will not put this up.
No. Fuck you guys. I'm using it next week. I'll put all the AI stuff in there they use, but I'll add our names and see what happens. Yeah. That's what I'll do, and then we'll see where that goes down.
I would love to see what I look like as a scroll. Yeah, why not?
It might be interesting. But Sean,
maybe I'm already
Sean, are you surprised by what they said? The producers are saying, like, just take this deal and be done with this because you're taking too long. This is a great deal. Or do you think this is more par for the course?
No, this is what's expected. This is the only, like, they overplayed their hand, and this is just kind of what they're expected. I didn't expect them to come to the table and offer anything of value. They still feel like they hold all the power. Because it looks good. It looks like, hey, we called for this. And it's all about putting the story out there. It's all about perception and posturing. And this is not going to last long. This is not going to continue. And people are getting wise. People understand. And as soon as the content starts getting fucked with and the funnel starts to dry out, you better believe that a lot more people are going to get behind this. And it's disappointing that they thought they could do this, and it seems like some people might have reached for this kind of deal, but I'm glad that the two big boys are standing up to the Goliaths here. So yeah,
it's fantastic, and these speeches were great, weren't they, Sean? I know.
Yeah.
You got
fantastic.
to see some of the transcript. It's great that these actors are actually standing up like this, because as Sabrina said too, it's not about really them. There is issues with the AI for reshoots and shit like that, but overall, like, they know that who are really going to be affected by this are, of course, the majority of the union, the little guys.
Well, I think they're standing up because they were in the shoes where they weren't able to stand up before, right? Like no one gets to see where these actors came from. Like, maybe you get the first things, but like all the tireless work that goes into being in Hollywood and putting up with the bullshit that's expected of you to do, and like everything, like, of course they're grateful for where they're at, but they also are humbled because they've had to struggle, and they understand and relate to their fellow members of their the other boards, the WGA and the SAG-AFTRA. Like, of course they're gonna know the struggle and recognize and thank God, like, they made it out. They got to be this big, and now they're using this power that was given to them,
to help people.
that they earned to help people, as they should.
Yeah, it's so amazing. And they, like Kerry Washington was talking about how when she first started acting, she sees people on billboards. She's like, I didn't think I'd ever be able to do that. And I did that. Ron Perlman talking about coming from like a family that actually was built on unions and how much he supports it. And like, again, him too, like they told their stories about this, Ron Perlman's a fucking man. That's all I could say.
He called himself woke. I love it. Let's fucking go.
My
woke
every minute of my woke life. I'm like, yes, sir.
It was fucking.
I am a union boy.
It was fucking
suck on that,
shit.
DeSantis. Yeah, we're sending Ron Perlman your way.
I mean, honestly, though, like, there
shit.
is so many people, like Susan Sarandon is out there fucking picketing, fucking Jason Sudeikis, fucking Jessica Lange, fucking Wendy Malick, fucking Laura Sangiacomo. Like, there are so many people, Jesse Eisenberg, like, that are out there, like, that can be doing anything with their time right now, but they're choosing to support a cause. And I just want to make clear, and I know that, like, this is not something that's broadcasted across ABC fucking News or NBC News or fucking NBC or fucking Fox or fucking CNN. Doesn't matter. I would like to say out loud that these people are helping us. It's not about themselves. And like, everyone who sees it, they think it's just whiny rich people asking for more money. And that is not at all what this is. I just want to stress that as much as I possibly can, because it's not at all what this is. They're out there supporting us because they literally could be doing anything else than be standing on a fucking picket line out in the hot fucking sun in the middle of fucking summer. They could be doing anything else. They don't need to be there. They're there to support the cause and to help the little people. Like, and it doesn't even just stop with the WGA or the fucking SAG-AFTRA. It's labor unions in general. Like, they're fighting for a fair wage for everyone, not just for us. Like, they're supporters of, this type of fairness across the board. And like, this is the start. And like, the fact that they're spending their time doing this is extremely humbling, for them and inspiring to watch.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are taking it the wrong way, and it makes me really sad. Like, they should see what it is, and what it is supporting the little person. And that's a lot of what doesn't happen in this world on a regular basis.
And without people like this, Sabrina, without people like this, you don't get the content and the phenomenal acting on shows, these big budget shows. You don't get any of that. These producers can't make it without actors, without the writers, without any of that. So at the end of the day, we need these people to be in place. As Ron Perlman said, we bring humanity to the scene, and AI can't do that. And without humanity, you don't have shows like Ahsoka. And now leads me to our featured story of the night. Let's get it. Everybody, I want to talk about Ahsoka now because everyone's talking about it right now. Of course, it just came out last night, so if you haven't had a chance to talk about it, we might get into some spoiler stuff, but we're at least going to talk about the first episode. But Ahsoka is out now on Disney Plus, and it's the newest addition to the Star Wars franchise, of course, following Ahsoka Tano from the Rebels and from the all the animated series, but also Dave Filoni created this character and he directed this, he wrote it. We're moving forward. It's a spin-off. You've seen her before in Mandalorian a little bit. You've seen her pop up here and there, but now Rosario Dawson's come in to play her character on her own series, and it's tying into the animated series. And for me itself, like I watched the first episode and it's a show. I think I enjoy where it's going. I do enjoy where it's going. I think that it's very empowering in a lot of ways. I feel like a lot of the characters, like Sabine, I think she's great in it. Rosario Dawson, I love her in a lot of stuff, but she kind of just like I don't know, like some of the stuff that's happening, I feel like she's too stoic. She's too like one note, like there's like one tone sometimes, which kind of drove. I want more emotion out of her. I don't know if that's a directing choice, if it's a character from Rebels that I just don't know. That's what that character's like.
No, the character from Rebels is apparently like very fun loving and adorable and like everyone's like, oh my god, she's amazing, and that's why people love her, and that's why people wanted this so bad. Am I wrong, Sean?
But I mean,
listen, okay, Brian, you finish your thing, and then I'll go in.
Let me finish my thing, because like that was one thing that it kind of bothered me, but I also love her, and as she progresses, I think it could work in the whole dynamic of the whole show. And also Ray Stevenson, fucking R.I.P. Ray Stevenson, I think he was great. He's very threatening the way he comes in, like his whole performance. It's on its own. He does look a little bit bulky to me, if you ask me.
He does. I'm like, why have so many clothes on?
Little bulky, but he looks like he's dominating in this. I think like he has ties to, like, you can tell that he's not quite Sith. He's still kind of in between. He cares about Jedi, but also like he's playing on that like in between character. I think that's gonna branch on. I could see him maybe being a little bit more good than bad at one point, and maybe helping Ahsoka. I don't know. The whole like lightsaber battle with Ahsoka when she first comes into play, I feel like it could have been sped up like at least a little bit faster. It felt a little slow to me. I thought that the lightsaber battles were a little like clunky for me, and especially Dave Filoni directed. I'm surprised it's like that. But like I said, Sabine's great. I think the whole MacGuffin of the map thing is pretty cool overall. Yeah, that's really what it is. We got to get this, But they get it really fast. Now they're chasing it again, and and then they had the whole time with the Rebels with the whole painting that's actually like identical from the actual series. And if you didn't watch Rebels, they said a lot of people are saying you'd be able to watch just fine. I think you're missing a lot of plot, though. I think you're missing a lot of plot that you should have more setup.
You're missing a lot of shit,
and I feel like that hurts the overall thing. And then the rock song that happened with Sabine, and I think that was also a little bit out of play. But when she's on her speeder going through the desert. But overall, like her getting strapped this lightsaber at the end, like how does she live? Honestly, guys. But overall, it is setting a whole new world up. I'm excited about Thrawn. I hope that it actually like leads to bigger and bigger things. It's very slow first episode. The second one I watched, part of it does pick up the pace a little bit more, but
around.
I just feel like it is growing in the world thing. We're growing a world, but I feel like we missed a lot because we didn't see Rebels. Or if you did see Rebels, maybe it would add a lot to this, But Sean, let's go. I don't want to go. But Sean, you know about Rebels more. So
yes.
What do you think about this?
I'm sorry, I don't know shit about it. I just read a lot of articles.
Is this a good adaptation? Do you think that this works? Is Ahsoka good? What do you think, Sean? Are you excited?
I'm excited. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good introduction of the key players that you need to know. Like, yes, it was a very slow first episode, but that's traditional. Like that's the traditionally done in the Disney. Hold on a second. There's a lot of setup here because of how many characters you have to catch up with in from this, right? This isn't just Rebels. This is also Clone Wars, where Ahsoka was originally debuted, right? So there's a lot that still has to go into exploring what happened, kind of teasing out and explaining, like, okay, when she was younger and she was the Padawan of Anakin Skywalker, which I'll get back to, of course she was a little more happy-go-lucky, maybe, a little more rambunctious, whatever have you, but that motherfucker became Darth Vader, right?
Yeah.
And she never finalized her Jedi training, right? So she's got that kind of chip on her shoulder. She's also blamed for what happened to Ezra and Ezra disappearing.
Hold on.
Okay.
A quick question.
Yes.
You watching this episode, if you didn't watch Clone Wars and Rebels, would you have known that?
No, but I didn't watch those
Exactly.
shows. But I didn't watch those shows. But I thought it was very much. There's a like when Ahsoka Tano was introduced in Mandalorian. I went on some fact finding missions. I thought, hey, this looks familiar. I've seen her mentioned about in the other shows, and like I've done the research and looked at it, and like I've got a synopsis of understanding of what happened to the crew of rebels that is in that painting, and like I can
respect
understand.
and appreciate that, but like for someone who's watching it that didn't watch
No,
those shows and didn't do a deep dive, there's so many things that are unfucking answered.
Yeah, there's again, I love this guy Ryan Ariat Screen Crush. I gotta say it, but he has a lovely video out.
The guy with the dog, he has like the little white dog.
Well, 100. So if you really want to catch up on the entire thing of Ahsoka in terms of who these characters are, where they came from, some of the Easter eggs, some of the story jumps, and whatever that you're gonna expect, there's 126 hours of content out there for you to enjoy. Right? Clone Wars, the Rebels.
Hours.
Exactly, it's too much. Not even going into all of the novels that involve Thrawn, the comics books. Like, there's a ton out there that introduce these characters, and it is cool to see them going in here. But yeah, Screen Crush put out 126 hours in 29 minutes, distilling all that down. So I'm planning on watching that before I watch episode 3. I did watch episode 1 and 2 today, and
nice.
I think it's a good arc. I think that it's setting up some good things. I think there's still a lot that has to kind of be explained for the casual viewer, someone that hasn't or maybe isn't interested in doing all this research. Hello, Sabrina. I'm putting out there. But no, it's funny you said the word MacGuffin. As soon as friggin' Ahsoka Tano had that little aura, I'm like, fucking MacGuffin. It's a MacGuffin. I fucking knew it. I knew it. Because these things just follow this pattern and then like just this formula. And of course, Dave Filoni is attached to this. So like, there's a little bit of stuff you can kind of pull in and expect of what to see and what this story is going to be. But I enjoyed it. And yes, one of my favorite parts was Ray Stevens' character. I thought like there's going to be a lot involved with that. I think that he's the character that's going to kind of more relate to the internal struggle of Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader. I don't think we're going to get a lot of Anakin Skywalker or Hayden Christensen's character used in this. Not. I think just a little flourish because this should be Ahsoka Tano's show.
Ghost or is it going to be him?
No, it'll be him.
It'll be him.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be him in flashbacks.
But timeline-wise, flashbacks. Okay, that makes sense.
Flashbacks because he was training her, and there was, there's been some clips of him come out in trailers and whatnot of him with his own little Padawan, braid that they had, and you could tell that Ray Stevens' character, I can't remember the name right now, but his Padawan, yeah, something like that. She had the Padawan braid as well. So yeah, they're not fully Sith. They're like, she kind of is like, again, you're everyone's getting murdered around you.
It's on the precipice.
Exactly. You're gonna figure things out. Balin. So I don't know. I enjoyed it. I'm excited to see where the show goes. I do want a little bit more from Rosario Dawson. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I do want a little more from Rosario Dawson, but I think we'll get the explanation of why she is this way.
Yeah, because I just want to like.
I feel
like even when she's mad, she's still like not like she's holding back. And I know she's very capable of doing that, and I'm like letting it out. So I'm like, I don't know if that's a direction thing. I think holding her back.
No, but I also feel like it's like a Jedi thing.
It's a Jedi thing. It's oh shit, my master became the most evil bad guy of all time, and I didn't get to finish my training, and I failed my Padawan. Padawan. Exactly. Like there's that kind of shit.
But also, Ahsoka in the cartoons, from what I understand, because I did not watch them, she was a way different character.
Well, like she was young.
Even in the hardest of times, though, like she still was like someone that everyone wanted to be near, everyone wanted to get to know. Like she's still like, and there was apparently fucked up shit she went through, like as a young person in the cartoons. I don't know, I didn't see them, but like I read a lot of articles, and it just seemed like she falls short. But like to me, seeing Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, like I feel like she is the same character, but I do feel like she paled in comparison to every other performance in that fucking first episode. I didn't see the second episode, and I hear that it's much better, but I only saw the first, and I felt like she was the most like the least interesting thing that I saw. I thought Sabine was better.
Fair.
I thought Balin was better. I thought even Mary Elizabeth Waters
Winstead.
Her, thank you.
Yeah.
Her like thong hairpiece, which was Amelia Earhart-esque. I thought she was more interesting. I just thought that Rosario Dawson could really shine more. And I don't think it's her fault. I think she's a spectacular actress. I think she looks the part of like so spectacularly. Like I feel like she's played it the same as she did in the other two things I've seen her in. But I just feel like it was flat. For me, it was flat.
Completely forgot about David Tennant. That surprised me as well.
He's the robot.
Yeah,
he's the
robot. He's from the actual
and
series, right?
Yeah, he's from Clone Wars. He's reprising the character, which I think is great. It's a good nod to, again, like getting to do this kind of character in this kind of universe. I've gone on the record, like I like Star Wars movies. I like when they explore the things that are not so like the main story. Like I want to know these little things about these different characters. How do taxes work in the New Republic?
How do taxes work?
We don't know. We're gonna
find out.
We
Maybe
have receipts.
That's season 2 of Andor. We're gonna find that out.
Yeah. Where's the Jedi accountants? Yeah, we'll figure that one out. But no, I'm excited. I think there's still a lot to come from this show, and I think judging it, I'm glad that they dropped the first 2 episodes because I think they learned from some of the mistakes of the previous releases that they did. But it just gives you a better sense of where the story is going. And it gets you a little bit more time to appreciate the characters and what they've gone through. So
I do think the world is cool. Like you were saying, it's a different kind of build on Star Wars. It's not, we don't need the Skywalkers here. Of course, we'll look at Anakin for a second, but it's not like we're forced into that same formula. It's a whole different thing. And of course, one thing too, I heard someone talk about online. It's like, you're in the good area now. It's like the rebellion won, but now it's more or less about the Empire coming to take over and seeing like, it's like a change of dynamic for the whole series, for everything that Star Wars has always been. So now it's really going to be about like this in-between time we've never seen. And then it's a time to Mandalorian, and Dave Filoni's got this whole idea where it'll eventually build towards a movie with Thrawn as a villain, I imagine. And then where's Thrawn right now? Like figuring out where Thrawn is in this different kind of dimension,
Isn't
time
he
and
in
space.
the map? He's in the map.
Yeah, but it's like a time and space thing, like that MacGuffin. Like
map him.
Like how would that be in an ancient kind of tomb if he's only been gone for like a handful of years? You know what I mean?
But who knows that? They don't even tell you. That's so fucked up.
That's a whole thing too. So maybe
that's fucked up. And I don't like it.
He's sent someplace with Ezra to this
I don't
place.
know who the fuck Thrawn is. Who the fuck is Thrawn? Who the fuck is Ezra? They don't tell me. They don't properly
Mads
explain
Mikkelsen's
that to
brother.
me.
That's who he is.
Yeah, I know that. No shit.
If I think where this story is going, I think that there's going to be a fair bit of filling in the gaps for people that didn't watch those shows.
Look, they did a first episode that was like a crawl. We're like, okay, we're gonna let you know, we're gonna give you the relationship between her and Sabine. We're gonna give you the relationship between her and fucking Mary Elizabeth. Say her last name again, please.
Winston.
Thank you. We're going to give you a slight bit of backstory, but then we're also going to leave out a ton of backstory. And someone who hasn't watched Clone Wars or Rebels, like, I'm sorry, like, I've watched enough Star Wars. I don't need to watch fucking cartoons too. Like, for fuck's sake, I'm 43 years old. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, when does it end? So like, it's like, it's like you've given me like little morsels, but like not the whole cookie. Like, thank you, Nestle Toll House.
This is only the first 2 episodes.
Yep.
This is only the first 2
still,
episodes.
It's like you're leaving all these things out, and like it's very confusing. And I'm like, who the fuck is that?
It's better than Andor. I'm going to say it right now. It's a lot better than Andor.
And
it's better than Andor.
I didn't have to ask 300 questions for Andor though.
No, but like my wife tells me when we're watching Doctor Who, be patient. Be patient.
Well, I don't want to be patient. Not to interrupt you though, but like during Andor, the only thing I want to know is like what happened to his sister. Do we not care about his sister anymore? Because the first episode was him trying to find his sister. That was my biggest question. What about the sister? In this, I'm like, what about everyone? Who the fuck is what? Where the fuck is who? Like, who is that? Who the fuck are they talking about?
We're gonna find out.
It was just so, it was like, I had so many questions. And in Andrew, I was just like, do we forget about the sister? That was my big question.
Do those
Did we
questions
forget
make
about
you?
the sister?
Do those questions make you want to keep watching to find out though?
No. The first episode to me was not great. It was not great. I was like, I couldn't wait for it to end so I can go to sleep. I was tired. I worked a long week and I just want to go to bed. I was like, no.
Just keep watching.
I was
Just
like,
keep
no.
watching.
I will
Like,
say
how
this.
many minutes are literally how many minutes are left?
Second episode's
'Cause
better.
I have to go to bed. That's what
Second
I said.
episode was great. If I don't get a
I
Loth
heard that,
Cat
but-
plushie, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
Oh,
Is
who
that
the
cat
coming out?
a Loth
Cat.
Cat? The cat. Sabine's cat. The Loth
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Yeah,
I don't
that's
get a
coming.
stuffed
That cat
animal of
was
that, I'm
so
gonna lose my
creepy.
fucking mind. It was so cool. What are you talking about?
Oh, it was so
Very-
creepy.
very-
I will send one to your house as soon as it comes out, Sean. Don't worry.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm gonna hold you to that.
No, I'm for 100%. 100.
It's happening. You better send her the
I
link as
promise.
soon as it happens.
That's fine.
Cross
That's
my heart,
fine.
I hope to die.
Just
Don't
like I'm
buy
getting
it.
Chris
Send-
that receipt shirt for
Send
sure.
me your
Yep.
address
It's
and
happening.
I will
Receipt
send you that
shirt.
fucking creepy cat.
Okay,
it's
great.
happening.
And the IP
Fantastic.
penis is coming. So
Oh,
God damn it.
oh God.
I
You
do
can't get away
think-
from it.
I
You
do
also
think-
mentioned it, so you can't expect it to die.
I know,
When you mention
listen.
it.
I'm a victim of my own circumstances.
By
Oh
the
no!
way,
If
it
it's
was
not the
amazing.
consequences of my own
Everyone loves
actions.
It's
I
like
know.
Snowball. It's,
Great.
it's never gonna leave.
it's
You
a
know-
cool series. I think that the idea is cool, and I think the world's gonna be good. And I think that as it grows, we'll probably fall in love with
I
the show
hope so
more and
because
more.
I really
think
Rosario
so.
Dawson's not my favorite person
Music's
to be
Phenomenal,
honest.
too.
Not my favorite. But I have like lately been liking her more. And like been trying to like her more, and I feel like I'm trying to like bridge the gap of like my anger towards her for no reason at all. So
I like Sabine a lot too.
what?
I like Sabine a lot in this actually.
Yeah, no, she's great.
Like cutting the hair still is whatever.
Did that happen yet?
It happens in
maybe
episode 2. She cuts the hair.
I
So-
like her a
Spoilers.
lot. I like
Cuts the hair.
everyone around her. I like everyone around her. Literally, Ray Stevenson, fucking Sabine. I don't know her real name,
That's-
unfortunately.
I-
I
Hero.
loved
She was great hero.
even his Padawan with the
That's actually a really good point, Sabrina, because like I think you're supposed to care more about the characters around Ahsoka than Ahsoka herself, which I think
that's
to me says that
intentional?
I think so, but I think the title of the show does a disservice to like the focus of the show, right? Like if it's
Yeah.
called Ahsoka, it should just be about Ahsoka. But really what we're seeing so far is like these other characters from Rebels and Clone Wars and like what they've been up to and what they're doing. And like, yeah, Ahsoka's there, but like, is
Again,
she the
two
main
shows I didn't
thrust at this
fucking
point?
watch.
I know you didn't watch it. You're
But we're
never
gonna
gonna
get
watch it.
into
That's
these
fine.
characters.
We're gonna get. I think we're gonna get it. But yes, I agree.
I
I
hope
think.
so.
I think if it wasn't called Ahsoka, I don't think that it would have as much pressure for you to like Rosario Dawson's
Rosario
character.
Dawson, yeah.
Like if it was called something
although-
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed her in Mandalorian. I enjoyed her in Boba Fett. It's just
Yeah,
this
she's
is not
great.
what I expected.
And the
And
Wicked
also
stuff
like
is
the
interesting.
the fight scenes were like slightly abysmal. And like her like with the lightsaber thing, I'm like, where is the lightsaber? Like it was I don't know, it just was very not Star Wars like for me. But even Balin and his fucking Padawan going through and killing that entire ghost ship. Like it just didn't seem like a Star
seemed
Wars
very much like
fight
Darth
to me.
Vader from
it really did.
Rogue One a lot.
Honestly, it felt more like a darker take on the Star Wars universe,
Yeah.
which I
But
think,
it didn't hold
especially
up to like the fight. The fight wasn't there for me.
like I think a lot of what you were seeing in that and the parallels were the same thing when you saw Darth Vader going through the tunnels and to get Princess Leia, right? Like just slaughtering people and whatever.
That was
Like it was
awesome.
that it was like again, it's a circle, whatever. But like Star Wars,
It's a
there's a lot of
circle.
it's a circle. There's a lot of parallels between this show and how it's shot and the scenes and all that stuff. Like everything can be referencing something else and still try and make
But I
it something
want it to be
new
its
in the
own
Star Wars
thing.
universe. It should be, but it still can take like, some hints and some references
takes
along
I
the
like
way.
a good
Like,
throwback,
it's-
but like have your own identity.
Like I'm
Fuck.
glad you mentioned the music, Brian, because
Yeah, this-
I went into
yeah.
a very deep dive on the music and like really like
Of
what they're
course you
doing
do.
with the score. Of course, why not? What they did with the score for this show and some of the musical cues is yes, they are supposed to evoke feelings and reminders and thoughts of what the other Star Wars movies or how these scores were used. Like, but it's like they're also stripping away like. So it's not fully the Imperial March, but you're getting these hints of it, these little things of it's in the background. It's gonna be there. Like, to see the fact that, like, we got this really great thing, and you know, the rebels won, and thank God. And then what the fuck
The Empire's
happened?
still
And then
there.
we have the Skywalker saga with Rey and Finn and all that shit. And like, to see the decline and the fall and the rise of the First Empire, it's gonna be, or First Order, whatever. It's gonna look fucking cool. And like, yeah, we just gotta be patient. Sorry.
I know, and I think it's a good world. I think it's a great world to be in. It's untapped territory, and Filoni's been wanting to do this for a long time, and you can tell like he's gonna put his heart and soul into this. And I'm excited to see where it goes. I get that first episode is very slow. The second episode does start picking it up.
First episode meandered around for like way too long, honestly.
And it's gonna be fun. And I'm interested in these witches environment. The whole witches coming forward. That could be really cool to see where that goes.
That was not the first episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The witches were there. The witch it was like the temple where they got the MacGuffin was the witch's temple.
The MacGuffin.
And it makes me go. It makes me think that maybe Darth Maul will be coming back somehow.
No. Oh my God.
I would love to see that. I would love it. He is. I mean, he was defeated. He was defeated in Clone Wars, though.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll see him. I know we're
That's fucking true.
Hey, spoilers. Sorry.
Anyways. Ahsoka's out there, everybody. The first 2 episodes, check them out on Disney Plus. Of course, there's a strike. And of course, there's a lot of shit going down, and you'll get less and less of this content. And if you want this great material, you got to have actors and writers there making it, or you will have
you do.
crap
it
coming out
write
after
itself.
the fact. So it doesn't write itself,
and without
everybody.
words, actors can't act. Fuck off.
True.
Do the right thing.
So do the right thing and pay these people. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for joining us on this 99th edition of Kruse Control.
Whoa!
Episode 100 is on Friday. 100 is Friday. So thank you so much for being here. I know it's
Sean,
crazy,
come back
99
Friday.
episodes.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
If
I'll
you
show
want to
up.
come back Friday, Sean.
We'll
it's
see.
100
We'll see what I'm up to.
So
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here tonight, Sean. Appreciate you. Sorry we're a little bit
Of
late.
course.
Love having you here.
I'm sorry,
Happy
my bad.
99. Happy hump day. Hump up, you know. Hump your way to bed.
Don't make it weird, dude.
No. I just want to also apologize for my hair.
Your hair looks
it's
great.
It's great.
It's a little weird today, but
Yeah,
anyway,
no, it's like
I
a
love
Bieber
doing this.
situation.
This has
It's
been
like
a great
very hip.
experience. Thank you guys. Thanks for allowing me to nerd out and share
Oh my God,
some
of course.
some nerdery and IP-ness and all that stuff. And yeah,
We welcome it every day.
thank you guys.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Happy hump day. Sabrina, thank you as always, too.
Of
Appreciate you
course.
being here on Kruse Control.
100%.
And of course, everybody out there, we appreciate you. We're at like 531 subscribers. Keep it
Let's
going.
make it 550.
Let's do it.
550. Let's do it. Come on. Please like and
Hit
subscribe.
that button.
Join that Patreon if you can. And gotta tell those friends, that family, those uncles, those aunts, those cousins, those Grammys, those grandpies, those great-great-Grammys, those great-great-grandpas, all the chinchillas in the fucking world, the squirrels, the goats, the bears, the cats, the dogs, the marsupilamis, everything out there. Like I said before, that fucking skunk that has a whole family of 55 people, they can have 55
Fleas in
subscribers
your
right there.
fucking yard.
Fuck
Have
them,
him,
join
have him
Kruse Control.
subscribe.
Tell everybody out there to tell everybody, because we gotta keep that word going, and we'll eventually get to 1,000, to 1,000,000, and then the world is your gemstone. I don't know. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight on Kruse Control. Have a great night, and as always, we'll be back on Friday for number 100. See ya.